LoreWarrior Aerotech. Mechbuster. Overview. A hastily designed conventional fighter produced as a stopgap for dwindling aerospace fighters, the Mechbuster nonetheless performed admirably for its short production run. Thousands were churned out until Wakizashi were able to retool their lines for more effective aerospace designs right before the outbreak of the Fourth Succession War. With the formation of the Free Rasalhague Republic and the destruction inflicted during the Ronin Wars, the Draconis Combine gifted the design and all rights to the fledgling state, allowing it to produce a cheap and effective fighter to defend its systems from any possible Lyran aggression, and production restarted. Capabilities. What led to the end of the production run were the natural limitations of any turbine-powered conventional fighter. Thin armour, plus limited fuel and ammunition, forced Mechbusters to return to airstrips frequently for rearmament and refuelling. Even with other support craft to protect it and supply aerial refuelling, the Mechbuster only has enough ammunition for under a minute of continuous fire before it ran dry. Without VSTOL, it also requires a dedicated airstrip for it to land and take off, precluding any ability to wage a guerrilla campaign. If the enemy captures the airstrip, Mechbusters will have to be abandoned if no other base of operations can be procured quickly. As a strike craft and interceptor, however, the Mechbuster proved excellent. Its sole weapon, a Zeus 75 Class 20 autocannon, provides a potential for it to destroy several battlemechs before it needs to retire from the field. A squadron of Mechbusters can turn the tide in any ground battle in the time it takes to run their autocannons dry. Also incorporated into the design is an advanced bomb targeting system, which allows external weapons to be targeted with ease. Deployment. The Free Rasalhague Republic has been arming militias with dozens of Mechbusters, and it seems the state cannot get enough of the fighter. In fact, the Kung's army has been buying up used Mechbusters that House Curated retired since the production lines on Rasalhague cannot keep up. No other nation has expressed interest in the design, though a number of paranoid nobles looking to expand their private militias have purchased a few. Mechbusters were so rare outside of the Draconis Combine that many don't believe they exist beyond that house's borders. However, the Lyman Commonwealth attempted a daring raid using a squadron of Mechbusters in Combine livery and accompanying battlemechs on Kirkback in 3025. The plan was to launch the fighters from an in-flight dropship, and then race to destroy a command bunker that would be housing several prominent ISF figures. The battlemech company would then combat drop to capture a nearby airstrip, where the fighters would be recovered. After training in simulators for weeks on end, the raiding party left for Combine space, confident of their abilities. The raid started poorly. 4 of the 6 Mechbusters launched into a flock of migratory birds, wrecking their turbines and then crashing. The other 2 went on to successfully destroy the bunker and killed most of the people inside. The mech force hot dropped onto the planet but came across a militia unit that was several kilometers from its anticipated location. Low on fuel, the fighters had to land on the airstrip, even while it was still in the defenders' hands. Amazingly, Combine-style flight suits and paint jobs convinced airstrip personnel that the Mechbusters were reinforcements to help the militia, so the fighters were resupplied and sent on their way. The Mechbusters helped destroy the militia, recover the pilots of the 4 crashed Mechbusters, and secure the landing strip before successfully escaping back to Lyran space. Variants. Units have tried alternate weapon loads in an attempt to lengthen the Mechbusters' loiter time. One variant removes the autocannon for a trio of medium lasers and ancillary equipment and adds fuel. Another uses 4 SRM-6 packs along with extra armour and fuel, but neither of these have the one-shot, one-kill capability that the original has. Upgrades. One new tech upgrade to the Mechbuster replaces the Zeus 75 with an LB-20X. The ability to fire solid or cluster shells adds to the Mechbuster's utility, but the single ammunition bin forces the pilot to make their choice wisely prior to takeoff. Notable pilots. Michael Bergman. One of the surviving pilots of the Kirkback operation, he still is amazed to this day that he wasn't captured during the desperate landing. With royalties from a best-selling Holovid series based on his exploits in the Kirkback operation, the Bergman raid, Michael looks forward to a healthy and wealthy retirement from the LCAF. Yeah, I really like the Mechbuster. It's one of those planes that I remember seeing years ago and thinking that thing looked really, really cool. Plus, it's like the Pegasus. It's cheap as chips. It's simple to produce. The weapon system is pretty common. You can slap any old AC-20 into the thing. And yeah, it's just a nose-mounted gun that, yeah, the pilot just has to point and shoot. Although Aerotech isn't something that we use very often on tabletop, personally here, it's still quite a dangerous thing to use. They use different ratings. They have safe thrust and maximum thrust, 5 and 8, because you can also do air combat scenarios, which maybe one day we'll try. I don't know. But yeah, its armor is 18, 10 and 10 on the wings, nose is 18 and the aft is 10. Pretty much once any of those are depleted to 0, the plane is destroyed. But it has enough rounds in it for 5 shots. So 5 AC-20 strikes, pretty freaking deadly. You can imagine a wing of those things diving down on a lance of mechs, and something's going to get screwed up. But thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.